And now here's Steve and Michelle.
Welcome to Mallett and Michelle, where Steve runs to relax and I relax from running. It's a beautiful fall day here in the studio. Sweater weather in the AM and 90 degrees in the afternoon.
Sweater weather.
Yeah,
it actually has been really pretty the last couple days. I really like this time of year.
Up until like 10 a.m.
Yeah,
and
well, it's Texas. What do you expect?
And then that's about it. That's all you get. That's all you get.
Our guest today is Tim Unterlin, who is the owner of Tactical Integration, which is a new gun store in Dripping Springs. Some people may not even know we have a gun store here. Pretty much right next door to Slice Street Pizza.
Yes, right next door.
Darius came on last week in the same shopping center across.
We're just going to hit up everybody in that shopping center.
That's right. But he's going to come on. He's a former Marine, and he's going to come, I guess, once a Marine, always a Marine. He's a Marine. He's coming in to join us. But we can't do the show without our sponsors.
Absolutely. Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room.
No one is crying in their vodka at the Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room. They're having too much fun.
He's trying to hold up his.
Can you see that on YouTube?
The Deep Eddy Espresso. Jovi Belterra.
1 and 2 bedroom apartments for people 55 and up that want to live their best life. Stop by for a tour.
What if you're 54 and 2 months?
Can't live
shy?
there. Can't live there.
Can't live there.
You are not qualified, young lady.
Not invited. South Star Bank.
From simple loans to complex lending packages, they have just the right product for you.
And
dun dun dun.
Mallett Integrity Team.
No fancy filters, just true to life real estate experience for people that want results.
I showed you that filter experiment we did where it was like before and after.
The filter thing is getting a little insane. I'm not using any filters at all. What you see online is me. That's it.
Is what you get.
Bald head, little pot belly, everything. It's all just me.
Do you have a pot belly?
I'm 62. Everyone's 62.
Do you know what that's from? Do you have a pot belly?
Is that from a movie?
It's from Pulp Fiction.
Is that from Pulp Fiction?
Yeah. Do you remember Bruce Willis's girlfriend? And she was like, "With your little pot belly, I would like some pancakes."
I don't remember that. That's a good movie.
It's one of my favorite lines.
Yeah, that's a crazy movie. I wanted to follow up on something you and I were talking about with some friends. We did a story, I think last week, about the homeless issue in Austin. And I probably tend to get a little passionate on that sometimes, and I wanted to clarify a couple things. Why it bothers me probably more than most people, and there's a couple things about it. But one is we spend a lot of time in downtown Austin early in the morning, and my wife runs down there. She ran down there this morning with a friend at 5:30 or 5 o'clock actually. And, you know, the city used to be pretty safe, but it's not very safe anymore. Nobody runs without at least one other friend with them. And we actually all run in groups.
You experience more firsthand than anybody I probably know who runs, especially coming from Dripping.
Yeah.
So Holly works downtown. So you guys go work down there, and then she disperses and goes.
She goes to the Y, takes a shower, and then goes to work. And almost every day, they have some experience with somebody on the trail. And that has not happened. That all started happening just a few years ago.
Really?
I mean, once in a while, every year or two, somebody would have a story. But prior to this new thing going on with the city, we never had a problem down there. Now you run by people that are talking to themselves on park benches, or people stumbling out in the middle of the trail, screaming and yelling. I mean, all this stuff happens all the time. So I probably come across as a little insensitive to the people who are displaced and can't afford to live in a home. And I understand that happens, but there is a percentage of people that are homeless, that are choosing to be homeless. They're addicted to drugs. They're addicted to alcohol. They have mental health issues. And the city, it has a whole business built on drawing those people to this city, taxing the people that live there to fix a problem that the city makes worse every year. And the more money that is used, the worse the city makes that issue. And so it is personal for me because it affects the safety of my family. And even though I don't live in Austin, it is affecting a city that I love. And people need to start digging down a little bit into how this business that the city has set up works. The city taxes people, spends the money on these homeless programs, gives money to these non-government organizations and some of these people that work on those NGOs have enormous salaries. Those people support the people that are in the offices at the city, and it's just this big circle of, funds going around to keep those people in place.
It doesn't mean that there isn't some good that's going on out there, and that treatment centers and helping people kind of get back on their feet, but it's meant as a hand up, not a handout, right? You're not meant to live full time in a homeless shelter.
And you know what? Most of the really good stuff that's being done in the city for the people that are displaced and homeless is being done by private individuals and private organizations and private nonprofits. That's where the real stuff is happening. Some of the stuff the city does, it drives me crazy. Anyway, so if I come across as being a little bit callous sometimes about this homeless issue, it is because it is sensitive to me in that I worry about my family. I worry about my wife. When I run down there, one of my friends, his wife runs with us, and every time after the run, he says, "Thank you for keeping them safe today." He knows it's dangerous down there. So anyway, I just wanted to give some context to why I probably come across as a little passionate.
I'm glad you clarified that, because I know why you feel that way, and I think it's important to kind of stand up for what you believe in and right the wrongs. It just so happens that this weekend here in Dripping Springs and all around the country, there was something they like to coin the No Kings protest, right? Yep. And it's more of an anti-current administration and everything that they're doing in there. And I'm going to applaud the fact about it. For the most part, there wasn't violence. There weren't buildings that were burned down. It was
hard to do violence when you're dressed up as a T-Rex.
Or as a unicorn. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
But, it's these protests, they claim to be about defending democracy. It sounds good, right?
Yeah.
But when you actually talk to these people holding these signs, most can't explain what they're actually protesting. And you hear phrases like, our civil liberties are being stripped, but then you ask them which one, and you get silence. No examples, no policies, just emotions and headlines. And if the concern is about a president gaining too much power, well, that's an actual valid conversation, right? So
sure.
let's talk about
that
this.
Is true.
But it didn't start in 2025. Every administration has expanded executive authority. The difference now is that it's just politically fashionable to call it dictatorship because it's Trump, because who's in there. And so when you and I were talking about it, I saw this quote that says a monarch would have attempted to disperse the crowds, or worse, when you said.
A monarch would have just said, no, you can't do that.
Well, absolutely. But here's the thing. Most of these protesters, most of them were not even from Dripping Springs. Yeah. So they came from Austin, San Marcos, and beyond. But this wasn't a grassroots, local voice speaking up for our town. It was I'm going to say busload, but there wasn't actually a bus. But there was a busload of outsiders looking for a backdrop.
I have a comment on that. Finish your thought.
Dripping Springs as a whole, we didn't just wake up angry and organize this. It was imported outrage, and it is being funded by these labor unions like the American Federation of Teachers, the ACL-CIO, which has 15 million members across the country. The American Federation of Teachers has 3 million. So
it's also funded by groups that pay people to come out.
The NGOs?
Well, no. There's actually a company. Look it up on the computer right here. It's called Crowds on Demand.
Oh, yeah.
It is a company that will, for a fee, collect people to come out and do whatever you want them to do to support your cause. They will, and it says right at the top, so it's crowdsondemand.com, and if you scroll down a little bit, it says, we create out-of-the-box campaigns, audiences, and events to make an impact for our clients. And you go down a little bit further, one of the first things they say is what we do: protests, rallies, advocacy.
Look, audiences, corporate events, and fan display. Do you think we can hire them for the podcast?
Yeah,
Do you think the same people?
if you read it, if you look into this a little bit more, they are so big right now that they will not even talk to you unless your budget is at least $20,000. They won't even look at you unless you're spending that amount of money. So you pay them money, they will put people on a bus and bring them to say whatever you want them to say, hold up whatever signs you want them to hold up. I guarantee you, I don't know what percentage it was, but I guarantee you a large percentage of the people that were out at these anti-Trump rallies over the weekend, I hate calling them no kings because that's a focus group term that they think will get headlines. Those people were paid to be there.
Well, back to what they're mad at is like, are they mad at the administration taking on the drug cartels to kind of fight this fentanyl crisis? Or are they mad about securing our southern border? Are they mad about the doging of our federal system and ridding it of waste? Are they mad at cities like Chicago, DC, Portland, we're just trying to make safer?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, also, they're finding hundreds of sex trafficked minors and women. Oh, wait. Maybe they're mad that we didn't free Palestine. Oh, wait.
Oh, we did.
We
Boy,
did.
that sure dropped out of the news quick, didn't it?
Well,
All the anti-Palestine or pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine things, that just went away like in a heartbeat.
Well,
went away like the death count on COVID when
it really did. But
when
some
Biden came in.
Some of the signs were very tame, which were great. And when you have children there, I know that there was a lady standing on the corner, and I don't know if she's local or not, but she did say 8647. Okay, I'm sorry. I worked in the restaurant business. I know 86 is to do away with something. So any way you look at it, or if it's 8 miles away and 6 miles deep, let me tell you, I know what it means. It's just another pink lady part parade, in my opinion, is what it was. But here's some of the other ones I saw around the country. I was looking at them on the computer the other day, and you walked up, you're like, what are you looking at? Yeah. Charlie Kirk had it coming.
If you are carrying a sign that says that, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Actually, it was a booth, Steve. It was a booth that said, "Changed my mind, Charlie."
You should be ashamed of
yourself. What heals faster, Trump's ear or Erica's heart? What was the other one? Antifa, or they're equating Antifa to old military troops. I am Antifa. We all are Antifa. Trump is a pedo. Here's one. This one was funny. You suck in Home Alone 2, which Trump was in Home Alone 2. If Kamala was president, we'd all be at brunch, and no human is illegal on stolen land.
The majority, the vast majority, 99.5% of the people were at brunch on Sunday having a great time while you got out there and cried on the street corner.
That's right. Well, we chose to go to church. And then I worked in the yard. So that's what I did.
And it was a great weekend.
But you know what? By all means, use your constitutional First Amendment right to go out there and protest what you don't like. And I'm going to say, I applaud that there wasn't any widespread violence and damage. So,
well, a couple things to follow up on that. We've mentioned this a couple of times on the podcast, and I want to follow up with that. We would love to have somebody from one of those groups come on the podcast and sit with us and just discuss why they feel like their rights are being taken away, why they think these marches or these protests on Saturdays.
Please email us. I'll get you on the schedule. We're booking out to 2026, but I would love it.
And nobody that's paid to be a spokesperson for that group can come on. We want to have a local.
You could pay me though.
Yeah. But we want to have somebody local that has these beliefs, that wants to come and sit and have a respectful conversation about why they think that their rights are being taken away. And you and I'll learn something, and hopefully they'll learn something. And I bet we go away with a handshake or a hug and find some common ground. So
I hope so. We're
easy to get a hold of.
We're a small community for a reason, and people that say, "Oh, that's just growth and progress." Well, I'm sorry, but there's a reason why the majority of us bought in this small town. And look. Don't come to a place, we've talked about this many, many times, don't come to a place and try to change it to why you moved out here in the first place. And granted, look, if you're an old dripper, that's fine, and you have these beliefs, that's fine. But let's just have a conversation.
Yeah. I mean, you standing there in your little bubble holding a sign, hoping somebody will honk their horn, It's doing nothing. If you want to make a real impact, come and have a conversations. I know that probably bothers some of them because that's what Charlie Kirk was all about. But conversations are where you can get something done, and that's what we're all about. Having conversations. We got a seat right here for you. You got the mic. You can come say what you want, and we might disagree with you, but it would be respectful. I guarantee it. Well, I've got a quick story. From the annals of what else could go wrong, Sam Altman says ChatGPT will soon sext with verified adults.
What?
ChatGPT, OpenAI, will soon allow erotica or sexting on ChatGPT for users that verify their age on the platform.
What a ginormous waste of water.
Yeah.
Like...
I don't know. I have no idea what you're saying.
They use so much water using AI.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew it was energy, but I didn't know it was that.
It's a lot of water.
Yeah.
All these data entry systems are like just sucking all this water, and so now we're gonna use precious water. So
and huge amounts of electricity. But
how about get out and meet a real person?
Can you see? I mean, you don't have to really think about this very much to see this is a road to a place you don't want to go.
It is not
You're
good.
sexting with a computer. And that computer is going to figure out what. Yeah, I know it's true. If you're having a relationship with ChatGPT, you are definitely need a big L tattooed on your forehead. But
it's perfectly normal, Steve.
Oh my God!
Let's normalize
that's the thing.
Unnormal.
There will be celebrities out there talking about, because they're paid to say, this is really cool. I actually have made a friend on ChatGPT. It makes me feel so good. Some days I'm having a bad day, and he will just say, or she will just say the right thing.
You know what the best part about that statement right there is? Someday some celebrity is at some point. Someday, most celebrities are going to be replaced by AI.
Well,
so we're not going to need to hear your point of view BS.
Well, ChatGPT, OpenAI, is not the only company doing that. Elon Musk's AI, which I think is Grok, has previously launched flirty AI companions.
That's gross.
This is the modern day equivalent of a sex doll. You bought your sex doll online.
That is just gross.
Yeah. And then Sam Altman from ChatGPT said, we've made ChatGPT pretty restrictive to make sure we are being careful with mental health issues.
You are
not being careful with mental health issues in the slightest.
If you're whacking off to a computer.
Yeah. So we're going to file that under things that go badly or end badly and see what happens with that. But I'm just going to say, people, when ChatGPT starts letting you do this, don't even play with it. Don't even mess with it, because I think that's a road you don't want to go down.
Well, let me tell you, to piggyback on that story, remember the story you did on Kim Kardashian and the bras that she has?
I did.
Well, have you seen the underwear that she's come out with?
No.
Oh, they're gold.
Are you going to pull it up on the screen?
I'm not going to pull it up on the screen.
Don't.
But let's just say that they're Skims, they're underwear, they're muff underwear.
Get out
I
of
swear
here.
to God. I swear to God. Yes. So you want to talk about these young people have a really hard time figuring out what's real and what's not. AI cannot replicate the human touch. Okay.
No.
And to kind of go with that, I see real encouragement right now. So there's a big movement to Gen Z and Gen Alpha and how they're kind of yearning for yesteryear and like kind of the things that we grew up with, right? Gen X, basically, they're hating on the Gen X, but they secretly want to be us.
Yeah.
McPherson College in Kansas, where you just came from.
I was actually in Missouri,
Kansas
City, Missouri. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
I know. I was there. Somebody said, "Oh, hopefully you'll see the arch," and then when we landed, I was like, "Oh, that's in a whole different place."
Oh well. There's no other place but Texas. It's the only college in the United States that is offering a bachelor's degree in automotive restoration.
Oh, geez.
There's 175 students that have been enrolled, and the industry basically has demanded these. students. It's projected that 85,000 new auto workers will soon be needed. By 2028, 350,000 will be needed, which is crazy. And it's basically engine rebuilding, metal fabrication, woodworking, upholstery, and hand-sewn interiors, painting, and welding. And they say all of this is kind of disappearing from modern education.
Yeah.
It's hands-on, real-world. But not only, I thought that the success of this was just amazing. The students are not only placed in classic car shops, and as the school has a 95% job placement within 6 months of graduation. But I never thought of this angle. Graduates are working in museums, private collections, auction houses, and in their own shops that they are creating. But if you think about, like, go back to the Gen Z and the Alpha and, like, you know, the story that you just did before that, they've grown up with everything kind of online, social media, AI, influencers, filters, algorithms, and the world to them probably feels so artificial and over curated.
Yeah.
And so restoring a car or like collecting a vinyl record or thrifting for vintage, it's kind of like their rebellion, right? They're rebelling. It's real, it's tactile, it's unfiltered, and they're really tired of disposable culture, which, you know, unfortunately our generation kind of perpetuated, right? You know, they really want to wear that 1970s leather jacket that connects to something. And then also they're kind of romanticizing, I think, simplicity, because the world right now just seems so complicated and feels, I don't know, politically,
it feels
environmentally.
to me like there's a veneer of crap on top of everything. Everything you look at online, everything you read, you have to figure out, okay, is this real? Is there a bias here? Are they trying to sell me something? Everything is just so much work. You can't just enjoy stuff.
Well, it's also hard to be an individual at this time because when everything is so kind of mass produced and it's being shoved down your throat, you know, finding some like mid-century chair in your grandparents' den, it's like, oh yeah, or a classic truck that kind of stands out to like every Tesla or Chevy on
but kind of what you just said, the thing that I think a lot of the younger generation don't realize, have you ever been like, you walk in a certain place and you smell something and it reminds you of something that happened 30 years ago, or a sound?
Cologne, my father's cologne, I
or
can
music,
smell it.
you know, and you talked about the leather jacket, you know, put that leather jacket on, maybe it reminds you of your high school Letterman jacket, or, and you know, a date you went on or something, but there's that, you don't get that online. There's nothing like that online.
No, and even like, I guess going to a thrift store, right? It's other people's stories, other people's memories, and they talk about like millennials right now where, you know, have you ever heard of that sandwich generation where they're stuck like raising kids and then now so the millennials are kind of coming up on that where they're taking care of their parents and still taking care of their children, but I see a lot of griping and moaning online about these millennials saying, oh, I'm having to go through my parents' stuff, you know, after they died. I can't believe they left all this for me. And it's like, what, do you not want your parents to live their most around the things that bring them joy?
Yeah.
Like, come on, get over yourself. Everybody has to go through it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's part of life. Yeah.
So I think also
forever
doing these kind of projects like this, you know, the vintage car restoration, it kind of gives them an intergenerational connection where, think about it this way, your father is not as tech savvy as your daughter, right? Yeah. And if they found something that they had common that was kind of outside of AI and technology and that he really enjoyed, and she's getting her hands dirty and she's...
I tell you, if you want to build a relationship with somebody, and I would say running with them is probably the first thing, but do a car project together. Install a bumper, a trailer hitch, change the oil.
Oh, my boys, and Todd, they rebuilt an old 1970-something boat. The whole thing.
Spend 8 hours out in the garage on a Sunday, bleeding,
yelling, getting
cursing, figuring out a problem. Oh, I can't get this bolt off, and then you all play with it and you figure it out and you heat it up and you pour Coke on it and then you get it out and you're all like high-fiving each other. There's nothing better. That's where good relationships are made.
You know, that's the best hazing that all of my boys do.
Yeah.
Like if they couldn't get something off, they're like, "Oh yeah, that screw is making you its B," and they're like,
"That's true."
So They say that all the time.
Yeah, I'm on a website called Bring a Trailer, which if you're a car aficionado, you know what that is. And I follow anything that's Porsche, and I love seeing these cars that are 30 and 40 years old that have been so well taken care of, and maybe they've been taken down to the paint and fixed, and the engine's been rebuilt, and you think those kind of people that can do that work, they're getting fewer and fewer and fewer.
Well,
so it's cool that this program's going on.
Let me tell you that these students restore 23 cars at a time.
Wow.
They've including rare models like a 1912 Ford Model T,
oh, geez,
a 1956 Austin Healey 100 M Le Mans. I don't know what that is.
I know what Austin Healey is, but I don't know what that car.
1953 Mercedes-Benz 300S Cabriolet.
Oh, wow.
And a 1967 Mini Cooper S. Finished cars are sold to fund the program or showcased at a national car show like Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance.
So they're doing good work, because you don't get a car in there unless it is the best of the best.
Well, they're planning to double in size within the next decade and adding new programs in automotive, digital media, and engineering. And it's much as passion as it is their profession.
There's still hope, Michelle.
I hope so. These kids coming up, bless.
I know.
I do. I have hope.
Yeah.
I have
well,
hope.
I have hope too. I think things will get better, and everything in life is a pendulum, right? You swing one way too far, and then you come back and you correct, and then You know
what the scariest person out there is the crazy white lady boomer. That's the crazy one. That's
the Karen.
The Karen.
Yeah. Who wants to tell everybody what to do? So well. Hey, our guest Tim Unterlin from Tactical Integrations is gonna. I think he's probably waiting outside, but we're gonna take a little break and get him in here. So hang on, sit tight. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Episode 200. I hope you like it.
200.
Dun, dun, dun. I didn't say anything about that while we were recording the show.